Good morning, everybody. Good Friday morning to you. It is August the 3rd of 2012. And I have a story today. Well, it's been in the paper for a few weeks, but some of you might have never heard of this if you don't live here in Greensboro. But 10 years ago, they call it a Valentine's Day prank, a girl named Janet Danahey set fire to the Campus Walk apartments. Uh, 4 people died in that fire. Now she wants clemency. The way it went was she was 23 at the time. Her boyfriend and her had just broken up. Apparently, he broke up with her. And so she went, they're calling it a Valentine's Day prank, but it happened on February the 15th. It was in the early morning hours, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think, somewhere like that. Then she went to his apartment, and the Campus Walk Apartments was a 3-story apartment building. Uh, they're real popular here in Greensboro, most of them that look alike in that respect. And on his patio, the little part of his patio, there was a box of party decorations and a futon. So she went there and she set fire in the middle of the night to that futon and that box of party decorations. That resulted in a massive fire which destroyed the building. People were jumping literally from the 3rd floor out of windows for their lives. And 4 people died in that fire. Those 4 people were Ryan Beck, Beth Harris, and then 2 sisters, Rachel and Donna Llewellyn. And they all died in the fire. From what I understand, it's not like they were asleep in their bed and died. They knew what was going on. They were trying to escape, and they were on the staircase that goes down all the flights of stairs when it collapsed. And they were buried underneath the rubble, so it collapsed with them. They knew what was going on, and that's just sad. That's just sad. So she claims it was a prank, that she just wanted to prank her boyfriend, and she didn't mean to do any harm. Her boyfriend had broken up with her. She set fire to his belongings outside his building. That was no prank. And on Valentine's Day, be it the middle of the night the next day, but she wanted apparently to scare him, to get even with him, to put fear into him. She was a woman scorned. And she wanted to make that known. You know, we've all been in relationships before our marriages, and we've all dumped somebody, so to speak, and we've all been dumped by somebody. I have been the dumper. I have been the dumpee. And if I was dumped by somebody, it never, not one time, in my wildest stretch of the imagination, ever occurred to me to set fire to something that around them so they would see it, so it would scare them. That's not a sane mind. That's not rational thinking. That does not need to be on the streets of Greensboro or any street. It just so happens that first when she went to court, when they had her trial, she had an option that she could have got the death penalty. Had she pled not guilty and went to trial and was found guilty, she could have gotten the death penalty. Or her other option was plead guilty and get life without the possibility of parole. That takes the death penalty off the table. She opted to plead guilty and take the death penalty off the table. And her sentence was life in prison without the possibility of parole. She is serving that now and has been serving it for the past 10 years at the North Carolina Institute for Women in Raleigh, North Carolina. But when the fire happened, like I said, she claimed it was just a prank. These 4 people died. Now that Governor Bev Perdue will not be seeking re-election this year, they are asking for clemency. Her attorneys are asking for clemency. clemency, as they describe it, could be set as any number of years, which they could put 10 more years on there. But in other words, she'll get a release date, or you can be released right then with time served. So they're asking for her to have a release date, or a date where she can become eligible for parole. I don't think it's right. The bargain that she took was life without the possibility of parole instead of the death penalty, and she should serve that sentence. Her lawyers are saying, well, she was young at the time. She didn't realize what her actions were going to do. She didn't mean to do it. Well, drivers don't mean to kill anybody when they drive on the highway. But they do. And that's a consequence of their action, is to go to prison. You can't just go out and kill somebody and say, I didn't mean to do it. I was driving drunk, but I didn't mean to hurt nobody. Well, okay, go on then. It don't work that way. I don't think her sentence should be given as time served. Her lawyers will also say that she had a bright future ahead of her, that this would be a waste to keep her in prison when she was a college student and she had a bright future ahead of her. Well, let me see. Ryan, Beth, Rachel, and Donna were also college students, and they also had bright futures ahead of them until Janet Danahey took it away. Now, if you let her out to live her life so it won't be a waste, well, these 4 people can no longer live their lives. They don't have that option. Their families don't have that option. So Janet Danahey should not have that option. She says she's sorry for what she did. Well, I bet these 4 people are sorry they died. I bet they're sorry she did it too. They can't get out of their graves. They can't go on with their lives. Janet Danahey should stay behind bars. I feel this was no prank. You cannot tell me that a 23-year-old woman in college does not know the consequences of what setting a box of party decorations and a futon on fire in the middle of the night is going to be. On a wooden deck. If she couldn't figure that out, then she still don't need to be walking the streets. She still needs to be locked up because that's just not logical. So, anyway it goes, Janet Danahey should be in prison until the day that she dies. And that's my take on it. And what do you think? Do you think Janet Danahey should be released? Do you think that 10 years is long enough after you've killed 4 people? Although you said you didn't mean to and you didn't intend for anybody to get hurt. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, leave your comments and tell me what you think. And until next time, bye-bye.